He knows the location of ZenAku. He's
Hasn't
caught a
got the
whiff of
lightning
him.
gun yet, though.
He does have a peeker though, mate.
And he hits it as well, coming out through the teleporter. Oh, my word. Alright.
That's so clinical. It's not very often you see all of the bursts from the tri-bolt actually hit.
Oh, that rocket was insanely close as well. No, and it was, yeah, you're right.
But he made that weapon work for him. Now getting the LG in his hands as well. Another classic that can do a lot of damage. For ZenAku, he slowed down the pace already. You can see instead lurking around the corner and hoping that SIB would extend out so he can set up a little bit of a trap. But that's not going to be happening. SIB will back off, use the peeker as a little bit of a drone just to recon. Does get the hit with it. And he was stationed on top of the heavy spawns. He's immediately picked that up.
Oh no, has ZenAku mistimed this? I think he has. It's really late there. Didn't need to sit around, but somehow gets out pretty cleanly. SIB obviously wants to chase this down. He has him pinned in the corner. He will be going down here. Unfortunately, couldn't do any return damage.
Good denial as well from SIB as he picks up the light. So already starting to get himself into a better and better position. That's going to be the mega snatched away. Finally gets a taste of the additional health. Both of the major items completely locked down. Good movement as he soars through the sky, reigning supreme with the damage that's starting to come out. Pepper spraying up ZenAku. Should be going straight into that rocket, and he will.
Full rocket as well.
Yeah, that is clinical.
Nice, really nice play by SIB there. And once again, completely unreturned damage, meaning SIB is stacked to the brim.
Rocket. Going to be forcing ZenAku back. Oh, SIB with the LG. It's a nice bit of connection being found. Can he actually finish him off? No, he cannot. ZenAku will be the one to finally get a frag on the board as SIB will fall 2 minutes and 40 into the game. That actually could be a quick kill chain together here as he's tickled him with the lightning down immediately.
Yeah, great play by ZenAku. I think that's what he needs to do, is just to take up these positions and try and block the pathing of SIB as he wants to be aggressive, and SIB likes to pick up that pace, as we said in the start. So try and get in these positions as he's doing these last 2 or 3 times. Just cut him off that way. You don't need to have good aim because your opponent is essentially running at you.
I think that is the skill that would work the best for ZenAku, of playing with the ping in that sense. If you can get so deep into their face,
yeah,
and actually just fight, like full frontal assault, obviously make it easier for yourself, it works way better. We noticed that with Nosfa, right? Is like he will try and always be the initiator, and it tends to be if his ping was slightly higher, it would favor him into those fights.
Exactly, it's counterintuitive because you don't feel that you've got a decent aim because of your ping, but you just need to, as you say, kind of catch your opponents off guard, be that aggressor. Otherwise, you're always on the back foot, and it's much more difficult to have that defensive play.
Oh, okay. This could be very interesting, as both of them are launching themselves through the sky like acrobats.
SIB has come off a lot worse here. ZenAku backs off this time.
Alright, the nails are coming out. ZenAku not in a good spot whatsoever there, though, unfortunately, as the directs are being landed by SIB, and he will fall. In terms of control, I think that's the one like big part as well, is just how dominant SIB has been with getting pretty much all of the rotations of the major items here down.
Yeah, no, for sure. SIB's been insanely stacked. He's really done a great job at is making sure his kills are relatively clean. So it means he can string these kills back to back and keep pressure off the spawn, which on this map is such a good thing to be able to do because it keeps your opponent from pressuring you. And his use of the peak has also been on point.
No, it is. He's been doing an awful lot with it. That's why I was saying, like, they are quite iconic picks for SIB. The champions he's been able to get out, he can do a lot of damage with, he's well versed with, and we're seeing that translated here onto our screens on Corrupted Keep because he's causing absolute chaos with this Pika. And let's see what sort of a pickle he can force ZenAku in here. Ooh, continuing on to just damage him from quite a distance with that HMG. Oh, all right, that's nice.
Yeah, both super low. It does mean that ZenAku can pressure this Mega. He understands that SIB is very, very low, and with the dual wield as well, he should be able to come up top here. Nice. Should have time to get across as well. I'm sure that SIB will try and pressure it as he spawns right by it.
Dodges his way past the Pika, dipping under him to get that heavy. Firing death from above with these rockets straight down on towards SIB. He's got him so low and it won't take much to finish him off as he has the LG in his hands. And will strike him down.
Oh, and this is the Mega, but SIB's not in position to exploit that. Instead, maintains his position on the mid ground. Doesn't even want to commit for the heavy, instead favouring to deal some damage if he can off the back of it. Oh, a tri-ball.
I mean, this is the biggest turning of the tides for the item control, at least. ZenAku's in a way better spot. But he still needs frags.
He hasn't got the stack to contest for this Mega. He has to back off, and SIB will keep the pressure on and steal away this heavy. There's no way ZenAku needs to be around him to deal some damage. Low on rockets as well. Doesn't do anything, unfortunately. Does manage to get away with his life, which is the most important thing.
ZenAku listening out for the audio cue. Going to be able to spot him behind the statue. Doing his own bit of tri-bolt triumph there as he's going to land some really nice shots. Gets the Mega. He'll use that dual wield to try and do a bit more damage on towards SIB and ward him off. Now gets 2 major items. Coming up towards 8 minutes. He is quite far behind on the frags, but there's still a possibility. He just needs to start linking them together soon. Knows where SIB is here and looks to try and catch him off, but SIB's duped him, turned around on a dime.
Yeah, because he had definite shift in strategy in the last minute from SIB as he's moved away from being hyper-aggressive to far more positional, playing a longer range game, chipping away at ZenAku. Happy to forfeit items because he's doing amazing damage outside of the item pickups. But does get caught that time with only 3 frags now on this map. That's not a big lead at all. Maybe he has to reflect on that now, thinking he needs to put even more pressure on the major items.
I think it's just rough in the sense of, like, this is all precious time that's being wasted right now, Dan, where ZenAku should probably be trying to switch up his pace and really go a bit more aggressive. And SIB, all he's got to do, obviously on the Strog as well, where you have that crouch slide, you're so versatile in your mobility, he can just run. It's kind of reminiscent of what we saw with Slash, right? You just want to peace out the whole time. And ZenAku is leaving himself with nothing really left to work with.
It's a little bit easy to catch your opponent on this map, and even still, as you can see here, just pinned in the corner with only 2 frags. There's a to go. Can he bring together this follow-up frag? He cannot, as SIB spawns over by the heavy, but he's trying to stand on it. He doesn't know the timing.
Yeah, 7 seconds. Has to move off, meaning he will give that across towards ZenAku. Actually, no, neither of them are going to pick it up. ZenAku fully committing towards the fight. If he gets it here, this would be a good frag to pick up, putting it onto a 7-6 scoreline. But he's waited, fallen back, playing the smart game. Instead, retreat, get the major item, then commit to the fight. Don't leave yourself in a risky position. Oh no! The Pika punishment!
MVP Pika. That was getting very close from SIB as he creep away with that victory. But it got rather hairy there. As perhaps SIB went too defensive for a few minutes. And now it's just kind of glory frags as he extends the lead, but it was a very close game in the end.
Yeah, this is now one, obviously, with the last frag that they're going to come through. It will bloat the scoreline a little bit. And if you look at it for what it is, you probably wouldn't realize the true story of the game, because that was super close. The difference one Pika has made there.
Well, you can see the change in tempo and dynamics with ZenAku has to be good at it, and obviously something that ZenAku probably has been working on, and that's why Galena lends itself.
Oh, this ain't going to be easy. There's no way. This will be hard. SIB, he loves causing a bit of chaos, especially on the Athena. You've got to think of just the escape potential. There's so much he could have up his sleeves, whereas for ZenAku, it's a lot more limited in terms of when he's actually going to have those totems. The usability is quite restricted. For now, though, Mega's come up. He hasn't gone for it, but he could fall back if he wants to. He will. All right, I thought maybe they were both going to try and fight here towards the heavy. Instead, Mega will be picked up, and then it's going to be a mad dash for SIB to get back over there and take his item.
Yep, and already they're both prepared to play slow. SIB not overcommitting either. Messes up one jump there, but not a big deal. Very calculated start from both of them. SIB respecting. It is a difficult map to attack opponents on. There's lots of choke points, lots of traps to be set. It does feel like these two have played each other before as SIB now goes on the aggressive, having 2 rails back to back, but ZenAku responds in kind. And this time SIB forced to retreat.
That's perfect timing as well for his totems to come up. He got the overstack just as that fight kicked off, so it worked out very nicely for him. He then fell back and immediately got himself the Mega. So ZenAku is going to be sitting pretty with the way the game has gone so far. Ooh, that's a nice rail. And SIB already on turret extermination duty. He's been able to take out 2 of them. So it takes some time before ZenAku's able to get his 3rd back up. Still having 2 of them in play. Heavy's just spawned in, so he'll reposition just to grab that. Ooh, timing could be everything here though, Dan. As SIB was able to turn the corner and get a rail off.
Yeah, and SIB also got timing on that heavy as well. I mean, and also ZenAku did delay it slightly because he didn't know when it was up. So this time, SIB has a good opportunity to keep pressure on, but ZenAku's done a great job of chipping away at SIB, and SIB pushes in straight into a direct rocket. That was risky. It didn't pay off at all.
You can see he got the information when he turned the corner that both of those totems were there as well, so he was trying to focus on that. And the rocket just sidelined him. It's an unlucky engagement to have to take, but at least he has the info for later of where those totems are. Dropping back down as he'll head his way through the porter and get the high ground, Anakin.
And ZenAku's in absolutely no rush to keep the pressure on. He's quite happy just to rotate items, play that slow game once again. Whereas SIB definitely needs to respect that, as he did in the first few minutes.
Be healed in the power of the ancients.
Oh, good rail.
That was clean. And SIB completely overwhelmed. You can take my totems, but I'll be taking your life.
Yeah,
ZenAku finishes them off very quickly.
ZenAku's just capitalizing upon kind of slight mistakes from SIB. There was no reason why he needed to use that speed boost through the mid ground. Instead, quite similar to the way Cypher was exploiting carelessness. That's what ZenAku is preying off at the moment.
I will not grant you that privilege.
Yeah, any overextension, any push too far, and ZenAku will make the most out of it, really making a meal out of the game.
Yep. Oh, wow, a full rocket. And SIB is still pushing in. I don't think that's going to be the wisest choice. As ZenAku now can push up because of the missed rail, but that is a clutch rail to force ZenAku back down.
The predictive rocket was clean. Oh, and ZenAku clutching it out. 15 HP left as he very nearly falls. This could be the re-aggression from SIB that he needs, though. He knows that ZenAku was still quite low, pushes down, hoping to finish him off, but he'd already been able to replenish himself from the totem, so he does call it quits for now, not wanting to fall into a 4-0 position. Instead, waiting till the timing is better for him. Does lose control of the heavy, but got 1 rail off to at least try and shred some of his stack.
Overcommittals. There was essentially all 3 frags were just, well, 2 of them were straight up overcommittals, and 1 was ZenAku play off a mistake from SIB to push through that mid ground without securing it. So SIB needs to play more methodical. He needs to secure areas before pushing into them, and need to respect the fact that ZenAku is hitting his rockets in these fights. Because that's essentially what he wants SIB to do. He wants SIB to be pushing in like that. That's the power of the Galena. You can set up around totems and get a decent stack.
Also, again, more akin to what we saw at the start of the series with the scale, right? Where it was the defensive plays from ZenAku that were working well. I mean, the benefit is this time he's actually hitting a lot more rail than what we initially saw then. So his poke is better, meaning he's taking better engagements.
Yeah, I mean, even that frag there, yes, it was a frag, but if ZenAku didn't run out of rockets, that could have quite easily gone the other way because SIB is pushing through these choke points relatively carelessly as a light champion. And ZenAku is picking up a good stack because his timing is on point. And he's just playing so carefully around the map. They are two very, very good rails now. And now you can push in.
Ooh. Okay, ZenAku at least with a totem, being able to slow down the push and get himself a little bit of health back, but it's still not a great spot to be in. Luckily, towards the rail room, he's going to have a field day of snatching up every last bit of armor and health. He hears this coming as well. New SIB was on his way around the corner. Lovely use of the rail. If he hit the follow-up, it would have been absolutely splendid. No. Instead, though, he's starting to punish down. It all comes down to this SIB.
Swap to rocket.
Cower behind the pole. Oh,
that was messy. That was so messy. Somehow SIB does survive. But he still maintains the lead, and the time is chipping away very quickly for SIB. There's only 3 minutes to go. We know on this map, if you play slow and careful, you can defend any lead. And at the minute, ZenAku's playing this to perfection.
Yeah, ZenAku. It's just the defensive playstyle. It's working so much better for him. He's being able to hit his shots as well. The pokes from the rails have been on point. And his totem usage has actually really saved him in quite a few scenarios. This time, though, SIB looking to cause carnage with that lightning gun as he turns the corner. But again, ZenAku, look at that escape rail.
And as we said, the use of the totems, he's just setting up shop. Oh, he misses the air rocket. That still wouldn't have killed SIB, but this time it does work out. Yeah, and the use of the totems overall have been good, as we said. Setting up shop, making sure he's always got a totem in and around where he wants to be positioning defensively. So he has to kind of overstack at all times in one way or another. Great use of the tripod as well. This is dangerous from SIB. If he takes one rocket, he might die, but somehow he hits a direct. Now he's evened it up with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, you've given him an inch and he's taken an absolute mile, and he's still looking to snatch even more away from ZenAku here now, as SIB is in quite a dominant position. He is going to take a rail straight to the lips, but SIB! This is not acceptable for Twitch.
Oh. Yeah, now ZenAku's, now SIB's got the lead. ZenAku's being forced into more aggressive positions, and this is where he's struggling. His game plan is not built around this.
This is a very awkward firefight to be taking. SIB with the rockets tries to make the quick transition over towards the rail to smash ZenAku back down into reality. But he doesn't get it off. Surprisingly, he even comes away with his life out of that fight. It was quite an awkward confrontation.
1 minute.
Yeah, there's been a few of those, and now, as we saw, to keep SIB just wants to play the range game. He also has, obviously, grapple advantage, meaning how on earth is Galena going to catch you?
Now, at this point, the game is basically set in stone, honestly, Dan. It's a 3-5 scoreline. ZenAku, the slow play style is what worked. Now he's got to completely switch up everything he's been doing. The fundamental changes might be too much for him, and he just doesn't have the time, especially when you're getting rockets into your noggin.
And look at the use of the hooks there. Just there's nothing Galena can do. He needs to set up a trap, but when your opponent isn't moving, how can you trap them?
And SIB, if he does fall into a weird fight, he's got those free grapples to just yeet himself into the distance and never have to worry. And that seems like it is going to be set in stone there. There you have it, a 5-3 scoreline, as SIB will take the score, or take the series rather, 2-1, just losing out on the opening map of the series, Dan.
Yeah, but every map was close, so you can see, and all credit